Hello everyone, I'm Kishan and in this video we'll be creating a super cool responsive login form. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So we'll be creating this login form. It is built with simple HTML and SCSS. So we also have this effect on this buttons here. This is called as ripple effect. Then we have some hover effects. Now I'll show you the responsiveness of this form. See, you can see that here that it is responsive. I'll also show you here. So let's start creating this form. I'll be using VS Code as my code editor. I've already created a new folder named as responsive login form, and we'll start by creating an index.html file. Also, a quick note, we'll be using some extensions here, like this live SAS compiler. It just compiles the SCSS files to CSS. So we'll also be using this live server extension. It just reloads the application when anything is saved. So let's get started. I'll create the HTML boilerplate, and this is login form. Then we have a container div. In container div, we'll be having two sections. In the first section, there will be this part, the social login icons and this form, and in the second section there will be this create new account. So in the section 1 we have the social links first, then we'll have the Facebook one first. In the Facebook div we have a span which will have login with Facebook. Then we have an div with the class name as icon. It will have an image tag. We'll give the source files later. Then what will we have next? Let's type the eld. We can type Facebook logo. Then yeah, the Facebook part is done. Now let's have a class name as Twitter. It's Twitter. We have the same HTML code in there as well. Login with Twitter. Actually, we'll have the image tag first in the Twitter section, because you can see here that first here we have the login with Facebook, then Facebook, and here we have the icon and the Twitter text. So for that reason we are doing that. Then yeah, the social part is completed. We'll have the main form now, a div with class main form. We have an input element. It would be email. It has a placeholder of email. Auto close. We'll close this tag. We have another input tag with type password. The placeholder will be the password. Now we'll be having an A tag with no redirects. Here we'll have the forgot part. I forgot my password. Then we'll have a button which will have login. I think it's done. Our section 1 is completed. We'll have the section 2 now. Section 2 will have the class with new account, and the new account will have a single button named as create new account. Okay, so our HTML boilerplate is completed. Now let's check with the live server. Yeah, our HTML boilerplate is complete. Now let's create an index.scss file. Also generate the CSS and link it in this HTML file /index.scss. Done. We are completed with our HTML file. So now we'll have these logos for the Facebook and Twitter. Let's create a folder name assets, ASSETS. I have copied the assets, the logos. You can find these logos in the description of the video. Let's paste this here. For the Twitter in the assets, Twitter logo.svg, and for the Facebook /assets Facebook logo.svg. All done. Yeah. Now let's get started with the styling of this application. It's not an application, it's a login form. My bad. Okay, so in the SCSS file, first of all, what should we do? Let's have the Google fonts first. We will be using Google Fonts library. We want Montserrat. We'll pick the extra light, then light, regular, and the bold one. Okay, we'll use the import tag here. Place it here, and now we'll create a variable named as main font, which will have Montserrat, and it would have a sans serif. Okay, so we'll also have some colors for this application, so we'll create all the various variables for that. So I have already created that, and I'll copy the variables. You can find those variables in the description. So I've copied the variables. First of all, we have this gradient variables. There are two variables for that. Then the background color for the form. Then in some areas we'll be using outlines, so that's specific to that. Then we have a variable for login button color and login button text color, that are for the buttons. Same goes for the new account buttons. Then we have some input elements colors, and we have a placeholder color. Then we have login with accounts text color, so that is this part. And this is input text color, and this is forget this text color for hover. What this helps is, now if you want to change the design of this form, like, sorry, not the design but the color scheme, so you just have to change it from here. we will select all and give the font family here. We'll give as the variable name main font. Now we'll have a margin of 0 and padding of 0. Also we'll set the box size into border box. Okay, so let's save it and check. Okay, our styles are applied. Yeah, the fonts are changed. Paddings are gone, paddings and margin. Now let's create a mixin. We should write it at the top. Mixins are just functions which can be used in SCSS. So we'll be naming this mixin as enable flex. We'll also have the parameter for the mixin, which will be the direction. This parameter is optional. So now what this mixin will do is, so we'll be using the flexbox properties in many areas in this SCSS file. So let's give it display of flex, justify content center, align items center. So what this will do is it will place the contents of these in the center. So that's done. Also we will use the if condition here for the direction, $direction variable. If this is true, then we can have the flex direction as the column. Okay, so let's select the body tag, and in the body, what should we do? Let's start with the background. So we'll give a background of linear gradient. Gradient would be to right, and the gradient colors. Gradient color 1 and gradient color 2. Let's check this. Yeah, our gradient has been applied. Now we'll give the form of height and width. Height would be the 100% viewport height and width would be 100% viewport width. Also we'll use the mixin here. We can use it from the @include and the mixin name, which is enable flex. Save this. Let's check. Yeah, it has been centered. Now let's create our container. It would have a height of 75 viewport height. Then width would be around 80 W. Yeah. Then background color. Background color would be the form background color. Let's save this and check it. Yeah. Now let's select the section 1 and we should also include the display flex, enable flex here. We'll pass the parameter 2 for the flex direction. Okay, it's working. Then we'll give this height of 80%. So what it will do is it will take the height of 80% of this container and the 20% would be allocated to the new account button. Okay, so let's style it further. Now Let's create this border. We'll use border bottom. Border bottom will give it 0.05 rem, the pink outline color, and solid. Yeah, the border's here. Now let's style this social tags, social links. We'll give it a display of flex, margin bottom of 2 rems, and a position relative. Let's check it. Yeah, it has gone upwards. Let's also give it a height of 20%. That's messed up. Let's fix that. Also, we'll have the cursor as the pointer. So whenever we hover here, it will show as a pointer. Okay. Now let's select the Facebook class. We'll include the enable flex here. Then we'll give a position of absolute. Now we'll have from left, I think 4 rem would be enough. No, we'll need something more. 8 rems. No, let's give it 10.5 rems. Yeah, perfect. And let's select the span. We'll give it a width of 52% and a color of login with the account text color. Then we'll give the font size as 0.8 rem. Also padding of height 0.4 rems. Let's check that. Okay, login with Facebook is done. We should style this logo now. Okay, so let's select that logo. Height of 6 rem. Width of 6.5 rem would be enough. Didn't apply it. I didn't apply it. Do I give an icon? Okay, this has an icon and the img. Okay, let's give the img. The height of 4 m would be enough for the image. Yeah, that's completed. So let's style this icon further. We'll give this a border radius to have that circle. Border radius would be 100%. Okay, now we'll have a border. The color would be pink outline, then 0.1 rem and a solid. Yeah, that is done. Now we should also include flex box here. Enable flex. Okay, so now let's style the Twitter. I'll include the disable flex. Position of absolute. I'll give it right -12 rems. Select the span, width of 50%. Color would be login with accounts text color. We'll give it a padding left. It would be around 0.4 rem. That would be enough. And we'll give a font size of 0.8 rems. Font size 0.8 rem. That's looking good. Let's select the icon now. We should give that a height of 6 rem, width of 6.3 rem, border radius of 100%. Border would be same. We should copy from here. They both are same. Okay. Now we should also have copied that image styling like that. Okay, why that didn't applied? We give it border radius 0.1 rem. What happened? Why this doesn't have? Okay, we forgot to include the icon div here. I think that should do. Yeah. Now to hide this, what we'll do is we'll give this a border. No, not border, but we'll give this a box shadow. Yeah, we'll give this a box shadow. Let's get that. Box shadow minus 0.5 rem, 0 rems, and color would be from background color. Yeah. Okay, the box shadow is here, but we also need to hide this. So it's very simple. We'll apply the background color here. That would be from background color. Yeah. So this part is completed. You can see. Let's style this. So we'll move it from here, and for the input we'll be selecting it globally. Let's give it a padding 0.8 rems of top and bottom, and to left and right 1 rem, width of 22 rems, border radius of 0.2 rem. Border would be the pink outline. 0.01 rem would be enough, and a solid. Let's check it. Yeah, it's looking great. Let's style it further. Let's give a color input text color, then background color. Background color would be input background color. Now let's check that. Yeah, this looks cool. Now let's give it a margin bottom 0.8 rem. So when it will be stacked, it would have some space. Get a font size of large, and let's also change the placeholder color. Placeholder color of input placeholder color. Yeah. Okay. Let's say that. Yeah, this looks good. So now let's give it a flex property so it would be stacked. Let's do that. Where it would be after Twitter, after social links, we'll be having our main form. Yeah, we'll be having our main form. Main form, first of all, we'll give it a flex, enable flex with true, so the direction would be column. Let's save that and check that. Yeah, that's good. Now let's create another mixin for button. So we'll be using the same properties for the button. So let's create the mixin. What we'll name button styles. Okay, so we should also give parameters. Parameters would be for these colors, background color and the text color. Yeah, so background color and font color. I'll give this a padding of 0.08 rems and 1.5 rem. Let's call this button here, so we'll see the styles when we save it. Main form, then button. Let's select the button and include button styles. Login button color and login button text color. Let's check. Okay, let's style it now. Here it is. Let's give it a width of 22 rem as well. Yeah, it's stretched down now. Now we'll give a border radius of 0.2 rems. Great. Now let's give it an outline of none to remove that effect. Yeah, that's gone. Also a border of none. It's completely gone now. Yeah. Then we should set the font size as medium. We'll set the background color now, which would be what we named it here, background color. Now the font colors. The font color. Let's see this. That's working. But why the padding? Acha, we should give it a more. Yeah. Let's look fine. Now we have the cursor property of pointer. So now let's give this ripple effect. So I have copied the code from online tutorial. I'll paste it here. Yeah, the ripple is working now. Now button is good. Let's move on to our main form now. Yeah, our button is styled. Now let's select the A tag, give it a text decoration of none, then include the flex box here. Give it the color of pink outline. Then font weight would be bold. We'll give it a margin bottom of 2 rems. And let's have the hover effect now. The color would be forgot hover color. Let's give it a transition. Transition would be 0.3 seconds and is in out. Let's test that. Yeah, it's working fine. Now let's style the section 2. Okay. Section 2. Section 2, let's give it a height of 20%, which would be the remaining area. Also include the flex. Now all is left is to style this button. Let's include our button styles. New account button color and new account button text color. Let's test that. Wow, that's working. Okay, so our form is done, but the responsiveness would not be there. So let's test it. Yeah, we shall now make it responsive. For responsive, yes, now use the media of only screen and give the max width would be 768 pixels. 768 pixels. Let's select the container, give it a height of 35 rem. Select the section 1, net social links, the Facebook. Let me see. Okay, we'll give this a left of minus 8.2 rem. Then we'll select the span. Font size would be small, I think. Yeah. Padding right of 0.9 rem. Let's save it and check it. Login with Facebook is, yeah, it's perfect. Now let's style this Twitter. Wait, we should also make this icon smaller. Let's select the icon, give it the height of 4 rems and width of 4 rem as well. Give it a border radius 100%. Select the image inside it and give it a height of 3 rems. Yeah, now it's perfect. Let's do the same for Twitter. We'll give it a height of -10 rems. Should be 10. Yeah. Now select the span, font size of small. Select the icon, give it the height of 4 rem, width of 4 rem as well, border radius 100%. Select the image inside it, give it a height of 3 rem, save it, and yeah, that's perfect. Now let's style this input. Select the main form, input, give it a width of 15 rems. We should also give the same to button. Yeah, that's perfect. Now let me copy this and select the section 2. That's section 2. Paste that. Oh, it's not working. Okay, we came a level down. Yeah, perfect. So I think it's ready. Let's compare it with this. Yeah, our form is ready and it's responsive. Yeah, our form is finally ready. Let's check the effect. Yeah, everything is done. So our form is completed and it is responsive. So thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.